Hello there, welcome along. It's The Sweet Spot, the Racing Post's weekly golf show. I'm Bruce Millington. That lovely chap is Steve Palmer. We've got 4 tournaments to preview this week, so Steve's been very, very busy. Hopefully he's come up with a few decent value bets before we find out who they are. Let's look back on what I thought was a really, really good tournament last week, Steve. One of those ones that makes you realise what a great, I don't like the word product, but product the PGA Tour is, you know. Loads of fantastic players, really, really interesting course, great finish. I thought it was excellent. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, did you think it deserved to be an elevated designated event? Because it might not be next year because they're going to change the order a little bit. But I mean, that tournament is always good. I mean, it just obviously had the better players this year that elevated it quite literally. It was good knockabout stuff.
It was, wasn't it? And Matt Fitzpatrick, very gritty, got it done in a playoff with Jordan Spieth, and it was an excellent playoff as well. I mean, he won it with a stupendous approach to 18, 13 they were playing that, and you know, kept his calm, kept his composure. It was really, really good. The final 3 ball, those two in Cantlay, they were slugging it out all the way. I mean, it was obviously going to be slow, but we don't need to dwell on that. It was just really, really good, interesting golf tournament.
Yeah, 28-1 Fitzpatrick, and he would have been popular. I mean, I've backed Fitzpatrick for that tournament many a time because he's got that deep affection for the venue. He used to go there as a kid with his family. He said that outside of the majors, that was the tournament he wanted to win above all others.
He just hadn't had the best of years, had he? You know, given that he's now sort of almost very top tier, it's just slightly disappointing in his 22. It would have been a bit of a deterrent, wouldn't it?
Well, it's the niggling neck injury that's been putting a lot of punters off, because if you listen to him in the interview after the Masters, he was full of beans about how he played at the Masters. He said it was his best golf of the year. But in that very same interview, they were asking him about his neck, and he was sort of saying things like it's getting there. And, you know, it's just, you just don't want to be backing players unless you know they're fully fit. So that was the reason that I left him out. But he's clearly getting there. And he's a factor for the majors now.
I wonder if neck issues are a big problem for golfers, because they sleep in so many different beds, don't they? They're going all around the world, different hotels and different not Airbnbs, but mansions that they rent. But I don't know about you, when I go away, I'm really fussy about pillow depth. I have to have the right one, and they always have these like massive, great thick pillows, so you lie like that the whole time. The comedian Josh Widdicombe takes his own pillow on holiday, and I'm thinking of doing that because I have to have a nice thin pillow. But you know, if you're a golfer, it must play havoc with you, mustn't it?
Well, I guess they take their own pillows, or they have minions sent out to get the right design. I mean, I like a firm pillow. I don't know about you, but you give me a sort of soft, wishy-washy one, and I cry myself to sleep. I need a nice firm base. I don't know how Fitzy likes to sleep, but it seems like we need to put the neck problem behind him, because neck injuries are a big thing. He said it was affecting his swing speed earlier in the year, he was swinging freely last week, wasn't he?
And the big two, Scheffler and Rahm, separated by only 1 shot in the end. But I suggest they had slightly different weeks, didn't they? Rahm made it clear at the start that it was only really there out of duty, because he said, you know, if you've billed it as a tournament with all the star names, and the Masters winners said he was there and doesn't come, you'd be disappointed. So fair play for him for turning up. Scheffler was more in it to win it, and I've never seen Scheffler so ruffled. He was getting very hot under the collar.
Yeah, it's been a bit ruffled lately, hasn't he? I mean, Rahm he did a bit of commentary. Did you see? He did a bit of did a brief spell in the commentary box. So he did his good ambassadorial work as Masters champion. Jordan Spieth, I thought, did an excellent title defence, given he came into the week saying how exhausted he was. But he hasn't beaten a top class field since 2017. Still, the 2017 Open is still the last time he beat a top class field. And I don't know how you feel about how he performed in the playoff, but I think that the 2 putts that he had to win the tournament, very sort of wishy-washy putts, very weak on pace.
One almost went in, didn't it? To be fair, the first one was he lipped out, didn't he?
They lacked pace, though, didn't they? They lacked pace. They were a bit tentative for me. So I think lost his killer instinct, really. In elite company, you could see he was feeling it a little bit there.
I tell you what I liked about Spieth, Steve. There was a moment when he was on the charge and everyone was chanting USA, USA, and Fitzpatrick was about to putt, And you could see Spieth in the background really trying to quell the cacophony, which I thought was very good of him, you know.
Yeah. Fitzpatrick doesn't seem to get much luck with the crowds, does he? If you watch the Full Swing episode featuring him, there's some filthy stuff coming his way.
There isn't. And I thought someone called him Mr. Magoo at one point, which
did they?
I always thought Mr. Magoo was an insult for people who have very thick glasses. So I didn't quite get that.
Mr. Magoo? I can't.
Oh, it's I think he's like a sort of 70s cartoon character. That's the generation gap between me and you. I can just about remember Mr. Magoo. And
I know Andrew McGee, Mr. McGee.
I'm not quite sure. They do come out with some absolute nonsense, those galleries, don't they? But anyway.
They do. And I think it's very dignified of you to not want to talk about Patrick Cantlay. I'll give you credit for that. You've got nothing to say on that, have you?
No, there's no point banging the same drum. We all know he's slow, and we all know that the authority should sort it out. It was funny, wasn't it, when he did that chip and it ended up sort of on it looked like it was going in the water. It ended up sort of lodged between the kind of joist that keeps by the green, by the water, and the plank alongside it. I haven't described that very well, but it was and obviously, you know, you could have had a 3-course meal by the time he actually took the shot. But
but a heck of a good shot, to be fair.
It was, because it literally could have gone anywhere, couldn't it?
Yeah. He did an amusing tweet, to be fair to him. He got a hole in one, and he put playing faster, and he showed a video of his hole in one. I thought that was quite amusing.
It was very punchy what he replied to Koepka, wasn't it? When he said he needs to concentrate on not choking.
He's been in good form. And the aforementioned, we mentioned Sam Bennett last week. A few people have pointed out that he was very slow as well, and Cantlay had to wait a few holes with Sam Bennett in the mix. I mean, I was wondering last week whether Patrick Cantlay should have to get the Sam Bennett tattoo, you know.
That's right. Don't wait to do anything.
Maybe the PGA Tour punishment for Cantlay should be to get one of them on his forehead.
And were you were down in Cornwall last week, of course. Were you following the action from down there? How was Cornwall? Was it nice?
Got back for the weekend to follow the weekend's action, but Cornwall was very cold, but a change of scenery does you good, doesn't it? I mean,
it was bracing, wasn't it?
Well, the sea was incredible. I tried to inspire my children, so I charged into the sea in my pants, actually, because I forgot to pack my trunk. So I thought, I'm not going to let them think that you can't be brave. You've got to be brave in these situations. But when I got in there, like my calves seized up. It was so cold, like the muscles were seizing up. So I got sort of up and I thought, this is getting quite dangerous. So I aborted the mission. I thought I didn't think dying would inspire my children.
No. So, my goodness.
But don't go to Cornwall in April would be my advice.
Okay. Yeah, it's a summer location for sure.
For sure.
Okay, then before we get on to our previews, don't forget, as always, we would love you to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Let us know who you fancy this week. We'll find out now who Steve fancies. Like I say, 4 tournaments, and we'll start with the Zurich Classic in New Orleans. Let's get some prices up first, and then we can look at who Steve fancies and what sort of test it is. So the aforementioned Patrick Cantlay teams up with Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele. They're good buddies, and they're 3-1 favourites. A massive, great field, this. I always thought this used to have about 12 partners in it, but it's got zillions in there. You've even got, right down the bottom, John Daly and David Duval. That'll be a fun combo. Anyway, Max Homer and Colin Morikawa, they're 15-2. Sun Jae Im and Keith Mitchell are 12. The Kim twins, Siwoo and Tom, are 14. Burns and Horschel, 16. Thigala and Sa, 20. Kitayama and Montgomery, 22. And it is 28 bar. So it's not a normal competition. This, first of all, Steve, what's the format?
The format is 80 teams of 2. The top 33 teams and ties make the halfway cut. We have best ball in rounds 1 and 3. We have alternate shot on days 2 and 4. We're at TPC Louisiana, 7,425 yards, par 72, 4 par 5s. Pete Dye Design, last week's Heritage, played at a Pete Dye Design. It's staged at Zurich since 2005. Used to be a standard PGA Tour stroke play event. Became a pairs event in 2017. Very light rough, birdies plentiful. We've got an unsettled weather forecast, though. Thursday and Sunday look quite breezy. So, Sunday's alternate shot will sort the men from the boys.
Can you just explain to me what better ball is, please?
They both play their own ball, and the best score in each hole counts towards the team's total.
What's the difference between that and 4 balls?
We'll say Siwoo Kim shoots a 6 on the first hole, and then Tom Kim shoots a 4. Then their score is 4.
Isn't that the case? Isn't that the same as 4 balls?
4 balls, yeah, you could call it 4 balls if you want.
Okay.
I mean, 4 balls, it tends to be when they're going up against each other. Whoever they're playing with the other team, they're not playing against the other team.
Oh, I've got you. Yeah, I've got.
Yeah,
But it's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. And then alternate shot. Do they both drive, or does just one of them? They take it in turns to drive.
Take it in turns. And under breezy conditions on Sunday, that'll be a real examination.
Excellent. Right then, have we done what sort of player the course suits?
Yeah. Greens in regulation traditionally when it was a standard stroke play event. I'd like to make it clear what formation I've got this week, because 4 tournaments might get a few punters trembling with fear about how much they're going to, potentially, difficult to. You know what I'm saying?
I can see about how much they're going to say. They're just going to think, I've got this much to stake, so I'll put it on me.
Yes. So I want to make it clear that I've got a 1-3-1-1 formation. So there's only 6 tips across 4 tournaments.
Why?
Because they're the only bets worth having.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right then, so we've got 1 for this, have we?
We got 1 for this.
Who is it? Who are they even?
Who are they? Yeah. Sungjai Im and Keith Mitchell. 14 to 1 has gone, 12 to 1 generally available. You can get 6 each way places. So 12 to 1 with 6 each way places for a tournament that is full of chaff. There's a load of rubbish teams in this, with all due respect. Obviously, Bruce and Steve would be the worst team of all. I can say that clearly. But yeah, look at the list, and to get 6 each way places about a team with 2 high class players in it is good enough for me. Yeah, they seem like an odd couple, these two, but I think they're going to gel extremely well. I've no idea how the union has developed. I've been busy last year. If anyone knows how Sungjai and Keith have come together, then let me know. But it doesn't really matter. They are together, and I think it's going to be a deadly combination. Keith Mitchell, one of the best drivers in the world. He'll lay a strong foundation for this team off the tee. Sungjai, one of the most solid all-rounders in the game, has no obvious weaknesses. Sungjai's been hitting his ball with supreme confidence. He was 6th in the Players' Championship last month. He was 16th in the Masters, despite a bad set of tee times. Then last week, he was awesome from tee to green, finished 7th in the Heritage. Mitchell got a little bit quiet the last few weeks, but early in the year, you must remember how impressive he was. He was 4th at Pebble Beach, 5th at Riviera in elite company. The miscut last week in the Heritage, I think, is a blessing in disguise. Needed to freshen him up for this week's better opportunity. Mitchell was 4th in the 2021 Zurich Classic with Brandt Snedeker as his partner. Sungjai Im was 14th in last year's Zurich Classic with Benny Ann as his partner. So better partners.
Both upgraded, haven't they?
I agree. Mitchell and him together will be potent, and I think they'll get on great. Sungjai is he's much more of a character than he's given credit for. On the course, he's all business, but off the course, I've seen footage of him really letting his hair down. He's an underrated character off there. He's a fun guy. Mitchell's a fun guy. I think this is going to be I think they're going to have a lot of fun out there, Bruce.
Oh, great. Excellent. Do pairings that win this generally have to have that chemistry, or can they be just, 2 good golfers?
Cam Smith and Mark Leishman, they won.
Oh, yeah, they'd have had some fun, wouldn't they? I mean, Leishman's got his own brand of lager, hasn't
he? He has, yeah. I think, you want to, you're out there for a long time together, aren't you? And you've got to work together, particularly in the alternate shot. So, I think you need to get on well, and I think these two will get on well.
Okay, great. What do you think? Are the favourites just a bit too short? I mean, they've got an obvious class edge, as horse racing tipsters say.
I think you're right. I mean, Burlington Bertie is your best price out there. Yeah, they got a massive chance of a successful title defence. Don't forget they were 11th the year before they won. So they came together, they were 11th, then they won. They opened with a 59 last year in the best ball. They set the 72-hole scoring record. They've been successful for the USA in the Ryder Cup, President's Cup. Yeah, they're by far the most likely winners. It's just, as you say, it's just price. It's just price because it's golf, isn't it? Strange things happen in golf. You pile in at Burlington Bertie. For starters, one of them might get ill. You've got double the chance of your Burlington Bertie getting scuppered by illness, haven't you? You've got 2 players that could get ill.
But are they susceptible to illness?
Well, no, you just looking like John Rahm in the Spanish Open. When that was a similar price for John Rahm in the Spanish Open, I was saying all guns blazing, go. Yeah, that's just one player that something can go wrong with. You got 2 players that something can go wrong with here. I just think you can just see them having a bad day on the greens and getting beat. But it's just purely price. If you dangled something bigger than that, I'd be lured in. But I much prefer them to Homer and Morikawa, the other big name combo.
Righty-ho. Talking of horse racing, did you have a bet on the National?
No. Didn't even watch the National. I was.
Why not?
Where was I? I think I was at the cinema on that day. Yeah. I went to the cinema due to the coldness in Porth Town.
What did you go and see?
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay.
No, I missed that. Yeah, The Favourite Obliged. Yeah, The Favourite Obliged.
Rambler, yeah, it did. Yeah.
No, I'm pleased.
There was a protest as well. The animal rights people protested, and then there was a protest at the snooker last night. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
They chucked a load of stuff on the bays, didn't they? Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Disruption to the golf this week. People protesting about slow play, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'll be out there with a placard. Hurry up, Cantley.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was a bit of a plonker, that fella on the table there. But don't get me started on that.
Okay, I won't. I'll get you started instead on the ISPS Handa. I still don't quite get what that is. It's a funny name for a tournament, isn't it? What is ISPS Handa?
It's a good question, but it must be a successful company because they're sponsoring a lot of things lately.
Okay. Yeah. Right, then here's the latest bet. Anyway, sorry, this is the DP World Tour event, and it takes place somewhere in Japan. Steve will tell us where, but here are the latest prices. Rasmus Højgaard and Christian Bezuidenhout, rather, 18-1 joint favourites. Lucas Herbert, 20. Rikui Hoshina is 22. Jordan Smith, 25. McIntyre, 28. Rosner, 28. Yannick Paul, 30. So's Kanaya, 33 bar. So, wide open, Steve. What's the venue like?
It's PGM Ishioka Golf Club, Omitama, Japan. 7,039 yards, par 70, only 2 par 5s. A Jack Nicklaus design. It's hosted numerous Japan Tour events, most recently the inaugural ISPS Handa Championship 12 months ago. Just a Japan Tour event back in those days. For the first time, the DP World Tour is staging an event in Japan. It's the 51st country that the DP World Tour is staging an event in. Yeah. It's a short, flat, fiddly little track, but it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy for the DP World Tour size. We had a 59 on this course in the 2003 ACOM International. Masahiro Koromoto. Yeah, so sunny forecast, light breezes. If you're an accurate player with a hot putter, you're going to make loads of birdies. 144 runners.
Thank you.
And place your bets. Place your bets. Sorry, you can't stress it.
Place your bets by
10:25 p.m. Wednesday night.
UK and Ireland time. Okay, brilliant. Good point. That well alerted, Steve. Right then, I think you've told us you got 3 tips, haven't you?
Yes.
And who do you like the most?
I like Kazuki Haiga. Best price at 45-1 now, Kazuki Haiga. Japanese golf's in a great place at the moment. They've got so many promising youngsters coming through. Tiger Semikawa, who we've discussed on the Sweet Spot. Tiger Semikawa won last week again. Kaito Nakajima looks like he's got a huge future as well. There are talking of Sweet Spot regulars who won last week. Did Casey Jarvis win last week? Casey Jarvis shot 59 last week. It infuriates you, doesn't it, when you follow these fellas off a cliff and then they go and win.
That must be the worst feeling as a golf tipster. Some of you've been tipping every week, and then all of a sudden when you're not on, they go and win.
That is life. I mean, Tiger Semikawa was another one. I mean, I think he's got a massive future and he's very tempting for this. But I just decided to go with a slightly more experienced player that's got a DP World Tour card in his pocket already, because it's a big deal for the players that haven't got a card. They can get one with a win this week. He is 20. He turns 28 on Sunday. This Haiga, So he could have a new trophy to put with his birthday cake on Sunday. He won 4 times on the Japan Tour last year. He's got 6 titles to his name on that circuit. He won the Japan Tour money list last year, so that earned him a DP World Tour card. And he's quickly shown that he can handle the DP World Tour. He was 11th in the Thailand Classic in February, 4th in the Indian Open. He got a special invite to the Masters. Missed the cut on debut, understandable. Back to more familiar terrain this week, and back to a course where he finished 6th in last year's ISPS Handa Championship. So I expect Haiga to contend. Everything's rose in his garden. His parents should be ashamed of themselves. They should have called him Tiger, shouldn't they?
Tiger Haiga.
Tiger Haiga should be his name, but apart from that, everything.
28 years ago, would you have heard of Tiger Woods? He was only no, you wouldn't really, would you? 1995 was Tiger a thing then?
Well, he won the 97 Masters. No, I suppose no. I'll let him off.
I think you have to exonerate them for that. Okay, but Haiga is the main tip. Who's the main danger?
The next best is Yuto Kataragawa. 80-1 now. He was one of only 2 course winners in this field. As I say, they played a lot of events at this course, but there's only 2 course winners. Kataragawa, and Yuta Ikeda are the pair teeing up this week who have won on this course. But Katsuragawa got his win in spectacular fashion, a 72-hole total of 260 to win last year's ISPS Handa. So it's 67, 63, 65, 65. So he obliterated this course 12 months ago. This is a 24-year-old. He's been trying to make his way on the Corn Ferry Tour. Very deep circuit that these days. A lot of quality on the Corn Ferry Tour. He's missed his last 3 cuts on the Corn Ferry Tour, but all of them have been just by a single shot. He hasn't been playing that badly. He's just had a bit of bad luck and been edged out of the weekend. I think getting away from that Corn Ferry Tour pressure, going back to his homeland, back in his comfort zone, be a much more relaxed performance this week from a player who's got, clearly got bundles of ability. He finished 19th in the Corn Ferry Tour event in February. The last time he played in Japan, he was 8th in the JT Cup. He was 11th in the Dunlop Phoenix, one of our favourite golf tournaments. You get a decent field there. That was in November. It's just going to be like putting on an old slipper for Katsuragawa this week. Back at home and back in contention.
Do you think I think you could call this a very bog standard DP World Tour field, couldn't you here? Do you think the quality of this field would be better or worse than the quality of the average Corn Ferry Tour tournament?
Great question. I think the Corn Ferry Tour has become stronger than DP World Tour generally. It's that deep.
Perhaps we should start covering it.
Perhaps we really well should. If it was regularly on the telly, then people like to watch the bets.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
That's the key to our coverage. But this fella, he'll come back into more familiar surroundings, and I think he's a massive price. There's been some really annoying early money for him, but 80 to 1 is still more than fair.
Good. All right, Steve, who's the other tip?
The last one is a 150 to 1 chance, and that is Sean Norris, who is very well suited to this assignment. Finds fairways, finds greens, neat and tidy golfer. Norris has got more experience of this course than most of the field. He played on the Japan Tour in 2016, and he finished 33rd at this track. And then last year, he teed up in the ISPS Handa and finished 10th. Weekend rounds of 64 and 65. Soon after that, he joined LIV Golf. He didn't play great as a liver. He still made more than $1 million. So he left with no regrets. He left the LIV circuit with no regrets. Now he's back on the DP World Tour. He'll see this as a great opportunity. He's suited to the course, comfortable in Japan. He's won 6 times on the Japan Tour. His last win came in the 2021 Japan Open. That was a 4-shot success. He's a prolific winner at lower grade events. He won twice on the Sunshine Tour early in his career. Then he won twice on the Asian Tour. Then he started winning for fun in Japan. And then last year, he made his DP World Tour breakthrough in the Stein City Championship. So, 40-year-old, still got plenty to offer.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Wow, that seems a big price. Excellent. Anything else you would like to let the listeners and the viewers indeed know about this particular tournament, or should we move on?
I mean, Rasmus Højgaard is 60 to 1 favourite. We should probably discuss him, but he hasn't played since the first week of February. Final round 73 to finish 6th in the Ras Al Khaimah Championship. So, on the basis of inactivity, he has to be left alone at a short price. Christian Bezuidenhout, one of our favourites, 20 to 1, just had a long trek from South Carolina. He scraped into the top 20 on Sunday in the Heritage. Matt Kuchar and Christian Bezuidenhout tied 19th. You have to respect Bezuidenhout. He should probably be favourite, but I can resist him at those odds.
Okay. What should we do next? Should we do LIV or the ladies?
I think we should go for LIV, if that's okay. Yeah,
of course it is, yeah. You're the boss. Right then. So LIV Golf is back, and it's LIV Golf Adelaide. And the usual faces are there. And it's open as per usual. 10 to 1 joint favs are Cam Smith and Brooks Koepka. Joaquin Niemann is 12. Dustin Johnson 14. Patrick Reed 16. Mito Pereira 16. Chucky Three Sticks, or Charles Howell III, is officially known as 18. It's 20 to 1 bar those. Give us a little course guide. Who's it going to suit?
Well, it's Grange Golf Club, and they're using a composite of the east and west courses. There's 2 courses at Grange Golf Club. They're putting them together. It's like half and half. We're in South Australia, 6,946 yards, par 72.
I don't normally start with a 6 these days, do they? These yardages.
Certainly not a par 72. 4 par 5, so an extremely short par 72 on the scorecard, but we've got firm, fast conditions, which will keep the scoring down. The rough, apparently, is pre-penal, has been growing healthily since February. $20 million in the kitty, $4 million to the winner. Field of 48 shotgun start. 9:15 p.m. is the start time for UK and Ireland viewers
on Thursday.
On Friday. You might
Thursday.
be on. So yeah. Good point.
Actually, no, I think we need to check that, mate. That doesn't sound right to me.
They're starting at 11:15 a.m. local time on Friday in Southern Australia.
11:15 local time in South Australia. I think they're 9 hours ahead. Look, I think you need to have your bets on before.
Sorry, 11:45 a.m. I think they're 9.5 hours difference.
Yeah, so basically it's about 2 a.m. Friday morning. So get your bets on Thursday before you go to bed on Thursday if you have a conventional sleeping pattern.
We do need to check that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But just do it earlier rather than later. But if you wake up Friday morning thinking, oh, it's a LIV tournament, it starts Friday, you'll have missed the boat. Stand on me.
Stand on you, did you say?
Have you never heard of that expression? It's a stupid one, isn't it? Yeah. If you want to kind of reiterate that what you're saying is right, older people, you say, yes, stand on me. Yeah. Okay. Don't literally stand on me.
I was going to say,
yeah, no. Okay, and we know you've only got one tip. Yeah. Let's find out who that is.
Yes, it is Patrick Reed, or P. Reed, as a lot of his peers seem to like calling him now. 16-1, P. Reed.
Why would they call him P? What, like P. Diddy?
I don't know. Bubba Watson always calls him P. Reed. Brooks Koepka calls him P. Reed. I don't know. He just seems to be known as P. Reed, who very much had the last laugh in the 2019 President's Cup at Royal Melbourne. You must remember that tournament. It's a cracking event. He suffered terrible abuse in that event from the home crowd. They were well up for abusing Reed because he'd just come from the Hero World Challenge where there was a big controversy over him improving his lie in the bunker. The vitriol aimed at Reed peaked on the Saturday when his caddy was involved in an altercation with with an Aussie fan, and then the caddy was banned from the Sunday singles. So Reed, he hadn't won a point for his team going into the Sunday singles. The pressure on him was immense. He didn't have his usual caddy. USA in danger of losing the cup. And then Reed came out like a man possessed in the singles. He birdied the first 3 holes. He was 6 up through 7. Poor old CT Pan didn't know what hit him, and then USA went on to retain the cup. So, Reed showed that day how well suited he is to this style of golf. The key to this success on this track this week is your wedge game. All right, it suits great wedge players, excellent scramblers. And Reed is almost unrivaled in that department. He's a sensational wedge player. His scrambling skills are truly elite. So I think he's going to build on that glorious President's Cup Sunday with another trophy down under. There's similarities between the two courses because Greg Norman, the CEO of LIV Golf, was actually in charge of the redesign of the East Course in 2012, and his aim was to make that course more like the Melbourne Sandbelt, the famous Melbourne Sandbelt. So similar test. And the crowd will obviously be more agreeable for Reed this week. They'll be supporting the Aussies, but they're not going to be heinous towards the others. So I think Reed's touch and control is all important. There's going to be a load of layups this week. Don't be fooled by that scorecard. I've been reading about this golf course. Apparently the greens repel. Coming in with a long iron to these greens, they just repel the ball. There'll be lots of layups on the par 5s because you need to come in with some loft in your hand. And what Reed did in the Masters. May I just talk about what Reed did in the Masters? I know you've got to get off very soon. You've got a lot on your plate today, haven't you? But let's talk about his form quickly. He was runner-up in the Dubai Desert Classic at the end of January. He lost to Rory McIlroy in that famous duel. He was 4th in LIV Golf Orlando the week before Masters, and he was 4th in the Masters on a soft golf course which didn't suit him. I think Reed's going to win his first LIV Golf title this week.
Can I just ask why Brooks Koepka shouldn't be a little bit shorter than 10-1, given what he's done? I mean, he's won the last LIV tournament, then played fantastically well in the Masters. Looks like he's back. I mean, are you not slightly concerned that you could be looking at gift horse in the mouth there?
No, he's definitely back. I just don't like him on this sort of track. Firm, fast track. Lots of wedges. It's just not ideal for Brooks, if I may call him. But he's obviously playing great. I prefer him to Cameron Smith. I think lots of pressure on Smith this week. They're sort of jostling for favouritism, those two. You know, you're going to have, it's a sellout. This, you know, you talk about LIV Golf and whether it's going to survive, whether it's going to survive. All 3 days are a total sellout. You know, the Aussies love their sport, don't they? So, you know, Cameron Smith, all eyes going to be on Cameron Smith, and I don't know whether he's playing well enough to justify that the support he's going to get. You know.
Yeah, I'm not. See, I'm not. Given that it's a sellout, I'm not entirely sure P. Reid is going to get a hero's welcome. I think
he won't get a hero's
welcome. If it's
welcome,
him against Smith,
I don't think it will be. I think he's unlikely. I don't think he'd be up against an Aussie down the stretch. Right, so yeah, that would be a concern if he was up against an Aussie down the stretch. But yeah, he
doesn't care anyway, does he? He thrives on being heckled.
I cannot spate. I can't get that word out. Yeah, he thrives on being heckled. He loves a ruck, doesn't he?
What word was it?
I tried to say impenetrable.
Yeah.
He can't be penetrated.
Yeah, well, that's not very helpful, given your darts nickname is the Penetrator.
Yeah. He can't be penetrated.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the big news from this podcast, Patrick.
On that note, Patrick Reed can't be penetrated. There you go. There's your headline. Right. We'll move on to our fourth tournament this week. It's the first ladies' major of the year. It's the Chevron Championship. Here is the latest indicative market. Lydia Ko and Nelly Corder, 11-1 joint favs. Jin Young Ko, 12. Ataya Titikul is 14. Hoju Kim, 16. Lilia Vu, 18, along with Georgia Hall, 22 bar. Where's this one taking place?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because for 51 years, it's hilarious, isn't it? For 51 years, it's been in California's Coachella Valley, but slightly controversially, it's moved this year for the first time to the Jack Nicklaus signature course at the club in Carlton Woods. Bit of a mouthful, but that is in Houston, Texas. 6,824 yards par 72, 144 runners going to post, all of the world's top 20 in attendance.
Righty-ho. And again, you've only got the one tip, so who is she?
It is Ataya Titikul, 16-1 still available, I believe, who we probably haven't seen the best of, you know, which is not something you can say about those ahead of her in the betting. You know, this is a progressive player. The others we've sort of perhaps seen their best. It's a 20-year-old Thai. She's won 4 times on the Ladies European Tour. Then last year it was a barnstorming rookie season on the LPGA Tour. 2 wins, both coming in playoffs. She's clearly got plenty of courage. She actually spent a fortnight as world number 1. She's become really consistent. 10 top 10s in her last 11 starts. Top 10 in her last 3 majors. So yeah, the general consensus seems to be that Titikul is a certainty to become Thailand's 3rd major champion. They've had Araita Jutta Nugan and Patti Tavatanakit, one of my old favourites. So I don't see any reason why Titikul can't become a major champion this week.
Lovely stuff. Okay. Should we, I think that's it then, isn't it? Should we reiterate?
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. 6 tips across 4 tournaments.
Right then. So we'll start with the, let me think, Zurich Classic of New Orleans.
Sung Jae Im and Keith Mitchell.
And don't forget, that's a pairs event, so it is just the one tip. The ISPS Handa Championship.
Kazuki Higa, Yuto Katsuragawa, Sean Norris.
LIV Golf Adelaide.
Patrick Reed.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And the Chevron Championship.
Ataya Titikul. Do you want me to do any spellings? There's some tricky spellings there for betting shop customers.
Right. No, Titikul's all right. And that will be sort of regulation Thursday lunchtime start, I guess, won't it? The Chev.
The Chev, yeah, Texas, yeah. Regulation Thursday lunchtime. We'll have to check the Aussie one. We got in a bit of a muddle there. The
Aussie one, I'm confident is going to be like very early on Friday morning. So that's okay. Just don't leave anything to chance.
And the Japanese one, 10:25 p.m. Wednesday night. That'll definitely be the first one. I don't think the first one. And have an each-way quadruple. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I mean, the each-way quadruple on the 4 headliners there. It was 180,000 to 1 about 12 hours ago. It's down to about
10 pence each way. Okay,
it's 140,000 to 1 now, so it's shortened 40,000 points in about 12 hours. So
10 pence each way. If they all win, you win 140 grand. That's got to be better than a lottery ticket, hasn't it? No, you don't. You win 14 grand. What am I on about with the place money?
Yeah, the lottery's a mugs game, isn't it? But each way quadruples certainly aren't.
Jolly good. What's coming up for you in the next 7 days?
Well, hopefully following each way quadruple and immediate retirement thereafter.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Do you know what I'm doing this weekend?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. What's coming up for you in the next?
I'm going up to play Turnberry on Sunday.
Oh,
how about that, eh?
Yeah,
I'm going north of the border.
Trump.
No. I mean, it is a Donald Trump course, isn't it? Unfortunately, I feel a bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring politics into the sweet spot. It doesn't sit comfortably with me boosting his exchequer, but. Yeah, me and 3 pals, including Mr. Keeley, are going up to Scotland. We're going to go to the Scottish Grand National on Saturday, and then we're going to play Dundonald and Turnberry.
Blimey.
I'll be the worst player ever to play Turnberry, and we've got a caddy, which is really daunting. Have you ever had a caddy?
Yeah, I've had a caddy. Yeah, I had a very talkative caddy once. That,
did you?
Yeah, he was heavily invested. Yeah. You perhaps want to have a word with your caddy early on and just say, "Look, I don't want you getting too involved." Because
that's a bit rude. I've had a caddy a couple of times, and they've always been quite good at knowing whether you want to chat or not. I think. Where did you have your caddy?
At Wentworth, and I know how far I hit my clubs. And on the second hole, that really tricky par 3, I was very confident it was an 8-iron, and he insisted it was a 9-iron. I thought, how the hell do you know that based on one hole I've played? And then I just just for an easy life, I took the 9 and then short in the bunker.
Frosty after that, was it?
you know your game better than anyone, don't you? So that's what I would urge you to do. Just
all right, mate. All right, mate. We've got 3. So next week's going to be packed, isn't it? Because we've got 3 tournaments to preview. We've got the Mexico Open, the Korea Championship, and LIV Singapore, and 4 to review. So hopefully we'll be reviewing some good news of Steve's tips playing well. But if not, never mind. Hopefully it'll be another great week of golf. And hopefully you can join us for the Sweet Spot next Tuesday. Many thanks to Steve. Many thanks to our lovely producer, Will Carey. And most of all, many thanks to you for watching the Sweet Spot. Let us know in the comments who you fancy. We'll see you next week.